July 17, 1903. A crime so shocking it shook an entire community. A 7-year-old girl brutally murdered, and the person responsible. Dora Wright, a name that would haunt history. Today, we uncover the chilling details of this tragic case. Stay till the end, because the truth is more horrifying than you can imagine. The morning of July 17, 1903, seemed ordinary to the residents of the quiet town. Children played on the streets, mothers carried baskets of food, and shopkeepers opened their stores, unaware that tragedy was about to strike. Dora Wright, a young woman in her 20s, lived on the outskirts of town, seemingly quiet, reserved, and unnoticed. But behind her calm exterior lurked emotions and impulses no one could have predicted. Neighbors would later recall Dora as polite but odd, someone who rarely spoke about her personal life. She moved silently through the streets, her eyes fixed downward, avoiding eye contact, giving off a strange energy. That morning, few could have imagined that Dora would become central to a story that would horrify the nation. The innocence of the neighborhood clashed with the darkness that was brewing silently. As the sun climbed higher, the sense of unease slowly crept in. Children stopped laughing, and a distant scream shattered the peace. News would travel fast. A young girl, barely 7, had vanished under mysterious circumstances. Panic swept through the town. Questions raced through every mind. Who could do such a thing? And how? It was the town's baker, Mr. Thompson, who first noticed something was wrong. He had seen the girl earlier, skipping down the street, and now she was gone. Following a faint trail, he found her lifeless body near the abandoned mill on the outskirts. The sight froze him in terror. The child had been brutally murdered, her small body showing signs of a violent struggle. Word spread like wildfire, and the town erupted into chaos. Parents clutched their children tightly, fear replacing the morning's calm. The police arrived swiftly, cordoning off the area and beginning the painstaking process of investigation. Among the shocked faces, a subtle tension lingered, as though everyone suspected someone close to them could be capable of such horror. Dora Wright's name surfaced almost immediately. Witnesses claimed to have seen her near the scene, acting strangely. Yet, no one could fathom that someone so young, seemingly harmless, could commit such a crime. The town was caught between disbelief and fear, unsure how a person could commit acts so horrifying against a child. By late afternoon, Dora was arrested. Her neighbors watched silently as the police led her through the streets. Some whispered about her past, searching for signs of danger they had ignored. Others simply shook their heads, refusing to believe someone they had passed daily could harbor such darkness. During interrogation, Dora remained unusually calm, her eyes distant and detached. Investigators were baffled. Her demeanor didn't match the brutality of the crime. They questioned her endlessly, hoping to understand her motive, but her responses were cryptic, vague, and unnerving. Every word seemed to hide a secret, every pause hinting at a twisted mind. The news of her arrest sent shockwaves beyond the town. Newspapers splashed her face on the front page, labeling her the murderer of a child. The public reaction was one of horror, curiosity, and a thirst for justice. Everyone wanted to know, why would Dora Wright commit such a heinous act, and what had driven her to it? Evidence against Dora was both damning and mysterious. Items belonging to the child were found in her home, along with bloodstains that investigators later confirmed belonged to the young girl. But despite the physical proof, something about Dora's behavior was unsettlingly composed. Psychologists of the era would later debate whether Dora had a disturbed mind or if her calm was a form of denial. Witnesses recounted subtle clues, moments of strange laughter, sudden disappearances, and the odd fixation on children. Experts struggled to understand the psychology behind such an act. The trial preparation began, with the town divided between disbelief and anger. Dora's every action was scrutinized. Friends and family found themselves questioning everything they thought they knew about her. The case became not only about justice for the child but a chilling exploration of human darkness. The courtroom was packed the day Dora Wright's trial began. Reporters, locals, and curious onlookers crowded in, eager to witness the proceedings of one of the most shocking cases of the century. Dora entered, her face expressionless, leaving the crowd unsettled. The prosecution detailed the crime in meticulous, horrifying detail. Each account of the murder painted a grim picture, and Dora's calm demeanor only amplified the horror. Witnesses described seeing her near the crime scene, her strange behavior, and items linked to the child. Every word cut deeper into the heart of the audience, leaving many in tears and disbelief. Dora's defense tried to argue mental instability, claiming she had not fully understood the gravity of her actions. Yet the public was unconvinced. Emotion, fear, and outrage filled every corner of the courtroom. The suspense was unbearable, as everyone waited for the verdict that would forever alter history. The testimonies were haunting. The child's parents, trembling with grief, described their last moments with their daughter. Their voices cracked, and tears streamed down faces throughout the courtroom. Each memory reminded everyone of the fragility of life and the cruelty that had invaded their peaceful town. Neighbors gave accounts of Dora's strange behavior leading up to the murder. A pattern of oddities emerged: sudden disappearances, eerie fascination with children, and silent observations that no one had understood at the time. The jury listened in tense silence, balancing the line between empathy and justice. Psychiatrists and experts spoke, dissecting Dora's mind, explaining potential motives, and pondering whether her actions were the result of calculated malice or an unbalanced psyche. The courtroom was tense, and outside, the town held its breath, desperate for closure but fearing the outcome. After days of suspenseful proceedings, the moment arrived. The jury filed in, faces grim and serious. Dora Wright sat motionless, as if detached from the reality of her fate. Every eye in the courtroom fixed on the foreman as he stood to read the verdict. Guilty. The word echoed through the room like a thunderclap. Gasps, cries, and whispered prayers filled the air. The parents of the child broke down, a mix of relief and continued grief consuming them. Justice had been served, but the emotional toll was immeasurable. Dora was sentenced to death by hanging. The sentence was final, and the weight of the crime would haunt her forever. Even in those final moments, she remained eerily calm, leaving many to wonder if remorse had truly touched her heart or if she was lost in her own detachment from humanity. The execution was scheduled, drawing a crowd both curious and horrified. The atmosphere was tense, heavy with the weight of morality, justice, and tragedy. Dora walked to the gallows, composed, while the crowd watched in silence. The rope was fastened, the trapdoor readied. As Dora faced her final moments, some onlookers wept openly, others stared in shock, unable to reconcile the calmness of a person with the horror of their crimes. When the trapdoor fell, history marked a dark chapter in the annals of true crime. Though her life ended, the questions remain: what drove her to murder a child? Was it madness, evil, or circumstance? The town would never forget the shadow Dora Wright cast, and her name would echo as a chilling warning to future generations. In the days and years following, the Dora Wright case became a reference point in criminal studies. Psychologists debated her mental state, historians chronicled the societal impact, and true crime enthusiasts pondered the mystery of her motives. The town slowly recovered, but the memory of that fateful day lingered, a haunting reminder of innocence lost. The case prompted discussions about mental health, juvenile crime, and societal responsibility. Newspapers reprinted the events multiple times, turning Dora Wright into both a cautionary tale and a symbol of historical tragedy. Families lived with the horror, and historians preserved the story as a warning for future generations. Even today, over a century later, Dora Wright's name sparks intrigue and horror. The case reminds us of the darkness that can exist in ordinary lives, the fragility of innocence, and the profound consequences of a single act of violence. This tragic story leaves us with many questions, none fully answered. Dora Wright's actions shocked the world, but the memory of the young girl she took lingers far longer. The horror, grief, and unanswered why continue to haunt us, reminding us of the fragility of life and the darkness hidden within ordinary people. If this story touched you, if the weight of history and tragedy captivated your mind, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Every week, we bring you chilling true crime stories from history and modern times, stories that shock, educate, and leave you thinking long after the video ends. Remember, history is full of lessons hidden in darkness. Don't forget to like, comment, and share your thoughts below. Which part of Dora Wright's story shocked you the most? We'll explore more stories like this, but for now, stay safe, stay aware, and never take life for granted.